Speaking of 2K on social media, there's going to be a Facebook event on August 31st, of course, the closing date for the Madden 18 giveaway, with my career information, among other things. And the hashtag and the name that's being thrown around is Run the Neighborhood. And I can't help but think that this is a hint at this year's story. And do you think, Ben, with them talking about Run the Neighborhood and the Neighborhood, I've seen the name come up as well, just the Neighborhood. Do you think maybe they're going a similar route to NBA Live, where you start out as a street baller, working your way up?
Yeah, it makes sense to try and counter it in terms of it. Yeah, I reckon that's probably what's likely going to happen. They'll probably obviously try and do their own slight twist to it, but I think we were discussing in last week's podcast where would it be a little bit more park focused as opposed to college focused, maybe, or something like that?
Well, that's what I'm thinking now with the Prelude coming out in a couple of weeks. Whether it's going to start out maybe in my park instead of the college portion of the story, which would make it very similar to the Rise, I suppose.
Mm. Would they still include the college path, or were they more? Did they just put their money resources in the classic teams and the all lineup teams and that? So yeah, it's interesting to see what they were going to. Yeah, damn it, I said it. Where they're going to put their money in terms of it? Will they include the college stuff as well? So.
Yeah, and what kind of story it's going to be, because they have done that really cutscene heavy story in the past. First with, since 2K14, I suppose, but definitely starting with Living to Dream, and last year with the story of Orange Juice. Haha! They really got into the story. So so I guess Kenny, you may or may not, depending on whether they put it up on sale or PlayStation Plus, but. 2K gamers are going to be running the neighborhood in one way or another, I suppose.
I guess so. I am kind of interested to see what their take is going to be on the whole story and, their interpretation of running the neighborhood, I suppose. It does sound very similar to what NBA Live has kind of gone for, but yeah, I'd be kind of disappointed if they did do away with that whole college setup, because I found that to be a really interesting part of the whole 2K experience in 2K17. Yeah, I said interesting as well, so there you go.
Yeah. We all do. It's an interesting word to use. I mean, my only problem with the college part of the story is that they're limited to the ones they can license, which doesn't include, of course, my favorite and Ben's favorite, University of North Carolina, the Tar Heels.
Or my favorite, Duke.
Of course. Rivalry. The fact that we can't pick a lot of the big schools like that. Not to say there isn't big schools in the game. I mean, Georgetown's in the game, but because there is that limited to the 9 or 10 that are in the game, it is a bit limiting for what backstory you want to give to your character. On top of the limitations of the backstory already, but I guess the other problem is, of course, that it's not you want to have those really different experiences between Live and 2K. The beauty of having the two games, obviously they're going to do some similar things, but there's the opportunity for both of them to have different approaches. So if they're both kind of doing the same thing, it is familiar ground where perhaps they could familiar ground in a place where they could do something different. So that is the drawback there. But again, this is speculation. But that Run the Neighborhood, it really does sound park related. Some kind of connection between career and park. I mean, we could be wildly wrong. Our friends at 2K that we know could be listening to this and laughing right now at how woefully wrong we are. I know we've speculated and been wrong in the past, but it seems to strongly hint at that story, and that does seem, I think, a logical guess.
Yeah, I agree. And it'd be it'd be a kind of similar take to what Live has done, but it'd also be something a little bit different to what they've done. Hope that it's a strong story and stuff again, and hope that it's not going to be sort of jarring for the circumstances for us when we're in 2K16 story with family relatives looking, well, we being like the odd one out in the family in that sort of sense.
You talk about Hollywood whitewashing. That was that was bad.
Yeah.
That was a very egregious example with my pasty face in there. Not even my face, my caveman sculptured face in 2K16 because I couldn't get the scan to work properly. Even worse, and the which looked even better with the final scene with Vic letting out the face of Vic. No one looked pretty in that crying, but wow, my caveman was just really was some uncanny valley crap right there. But I suppose we'll wait and see and find out what they've done and how cutscene heavy it's going to be. I hope whatever they do take a similar approach to they did last year, where you don't get too caught up in the story, where it still goes through the gameplay and the story is just something incidental in the background that helps drive add some flavor to it. That it is, as I said, the story told through the gameplay, and that you can focus on the gameplay and the off-court stuff instead of having to slog through living a dream as you did in 2K16.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to go the RPG route, like they've sort of tried to allude to doing it, like that, that there's more significant choices, and it does actually really involve more the storytelling within the game. So fingers crossed that's what happens there.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out August 31st. We'll have the Run the Neighborhood event, and we'll have a rundown, I guess, of the show after that, although the prelude will be coming out, so we'll know soon enough.